I think that our team is just coming off of a big win on Saturday, and we're trying to put that behind us now and just focus on Missouri and really, get better at the things that we need to get better on, and just focus on getting after it Saturday.
First question comes from Edward Ashoff of ESPN.com.
Jay, can you just talk about your running game having to go up against a pretty solid Missouri defensive line? What are you guys going to have to do to continue the success you've had on the ground?
I think we're just going to have to continue being physical up front. I think that's one of our main strengths is that we're just a physical bunch of guys, and we know how to get after it on the field. And that's what we're going to have to do. We have to be physical. We're going to have to stick together. We had some communication issues Saturday. We're gonna have to fix things like that, and just really, work on our technique and stuff like that. So it's definitely gonna be a challenge, but it's something that I think that we can overcome.
What are some of the early impressions that you have from what you've seen in Missouri's defensive line?
They look like they're very technique based and a very, strong unit defensive line that we're like I said, it's going to be a challenge for us, but I think that they have some good defensive ends, and they're definitely a good team altogether, so it's going to be interesting.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Dwayne Rankin of the Montgomery Advertiser.
Yes, Jay. Obviously, your role is big for someone who doesn't even carry the ball. You do obviously a lot of other things. What was that like for you? I mean, you came in probably not thinking, okay, I'm just going to be primarily a blocker, but how much have you embraced having that role?
Oh, it's been incredible for me. Fullback. Ever since I started playing college football and playing fullback, I knew that I wasn't, a player that's going to get a lot of praise or get a lot of carries or be in the light a lot. But, just being part of this offense and part of this team and, helping and contributing is just amazing for me. And, I don't ask for the ball. I'm not pushing to get the ball or anything like that. I'm just happy to be on the field and, helping the team win. So it's amazing.
The last thing I'll just follow up. Last week before the Alabama game, CJ said that he was like, I'm going to just say it, Auburn has the best offensive line in the nation. Do those guys believe that?
Oh, yeah, I think they do. They're definitely a humble group of guys, and they know how to work, and I think that's part of, that's definitely part of where we are now. In the off season, we just came together as a group, and, we put the work in and the effort. They got our offensive line probably. The jump they made from last season to this season in the weight room is just incredible, and it shows because they work together and they're a powerful group of guys.
Thanks, Jay.
Next question is from David Pascal of the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Jay. C.J. Mosley after the game the other day said that Alabama just never got to set the edge defensively against your running game. Missouri has those really good defensive ends that bring the pressure. Is what y'all do, is that something that can kind of neutralize or help negate defenses that do have powerful defensive ends?
I think so. We're really good at what we do offensively, and we haven't really. Obviously, some teams have stopped us in some areas of our running game, and then others in different areas. But I think no matter what, whoever we play, we're gonna find a way to move the ball, no matter what, where their strengths are. And like I said earlier, Missouri has a very good defensive line and a very good defense. But overall, I think that we're gonna find a way to move the ball, no matter how we have to do it. So it's just gonna be a process, and like I said, it's gonna be interesting.
And then Coach Malzahn said yesterday, and he's been saying all along, that this turnaround season was more about just looking within and working on you guys all year. But was there a moment this season or a particular game this season where you felt like it was starting to click and that something special could be happening?
Yeah, definitely. When we lost to LSU, I think that our team really found ourselves because even though we lost that game, we fought to the very end and had a chance to come back and win the game and never gave up. And I think then we knew that we're gonna fight every game. And after that game, that's what we did. Texas A&M, it came down to the end, and numerous games after that, were just nail biters all the way down to the end of the game. And I think, really when we lost to LSU is really when we decided and we found out who we were, and then ever since then we knew, we're gonna fight to the very end no matter what. So it's just been the whole season has just been an amazing season of our team just growing closer and closer.
Thank you.
Next question is from Stu Durando of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
A little more personal note. I was just wondering if you could look back and reflect on your first season at Auburn and just the difficulties of transitioning to the new offense and dealing with the personal issues with your mom, and then the difficulty of the tough season for you guys, and what that was all like for you.
Yeah, it was probably the hardest time of my life that I've experienced. I mean, I came in and it took me a while to warm up to the guys. I kind of not because of them, but just because of the way I am. It took me a while to get used to, having new teammates and not, when you come in somewhere with the freshman class and you're part of that class, it's much easier to blend than just getting thrown in with a bunch of guys, which is what happened to me. So that was tough for me. Kind of felt out of place for a while, and then on top of that, obviously, my mom was sick, and that made it even worse. But when the season started, that was exciting, but obviously it wasn't very exciting for long because it turned out to be a terrible season. But I think that it was just hard on me and hard on the team in general, and I think it was one of those things where you just have to look to God and just pray and know that He's looking out for you and that everything's going to be all right. So it was just a bad time for everyone, but obviously we pushed through it, and we're doing everything's good.
And also, real quick, this might be a bit of a reach, but I think you probably would have faced Mizzou as a freshman. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there anything at all you can draw on from that memory going into this one?
Yeah, that was my first college start, my first game ever for Illinois when we played Missouri, and I really, honestly, I don't remember much about it. I remember, the game and where we played and stuff, but not much about actually playing in the game. I think I was so excited just for it to be my first game and, nervous and stuff, but I don't remember too much about it. But I know that they're a good team, and it'll be exciting.
Thanks a lot.
Next question is from David Morrison of the Columbia Daily Tribune.
Hey, Jay. Coach Malzahn was talking yesterday about kind of the process of learning to trust you guys and you guys learning to trust him and the staff kind of when he first came in. I mean, what was that process like for you, or just kind of describe how that went?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't know Coach Malzahn at all whenever he came in. I know some other guys did, but yeah, we after he got hired, I met with him in his office. All the seniors did, and he was just upfront with us, and he was like, I'm gonna do everything I can to turn this around, and he's like, I'm gonna put a lot of decisions in y'all's hands, and he was like, we're gonna work together, and he said, I'm gonna use the seniors to help me make decisions and to influence the rest of the team, and he was like, just basically told us that he wanted us to work with him and it to be a back and forth type thing instead of him just being the coach making all decisions. So that was really good for us because he was right. I mean, he called us in numerous times over the summer and during the season, asking us questions about this or what needed to be done or what we thought, and that felt good for us to know that he really cared about what we felt and our opinion. So that was really something good to help the trust thing between us, and then it really showed later in this season that we've really created that bond.
And it seems like through all of his stops, he's had kind of a knack for reshaping the offense around the quarterback strengths and really the personnel strengths. I mean, what is it about him or his offense that allows him to be so, I guess, to do that?
What is it about his offense that allows us to use our strengths?
Yeah, it allows him to reshape it to whatever the team's strengths are in any given season.
I think his offense is just so diverse that it can go. There's so many ways that his offense allows you to move the ball down the field, whether it be passing, running, power, outside run, and with the talent that we have on our offense, it really opens that up. I don't think we're really designated to one option. We're pretty good at a lot of it. So I think that really I mean that's what he's talking about is we're able to with Nick, he can run very well and that opens it up a lot for us and we're a great offensive line, great receivers. So I mean with this offense it's really hard to stop for defenses to stop us.